Do I just control the slides here, I guess? Or?
Oh, the clicker, yes, I forgot to introduce the clicker, the star of the show. I think it's down to forward. Yeah. There you go.
Hey, there's my tech wizard.
Yeah, whenever you guys are ready, we can get started.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. Hopefully you're enjoying the food. So I'm Evan Sittler, CEO and co-founder of Expert VR. But before we get into that, what is the problem that we're trying to solve here at Expert VR? So I'm sure lots of you went to university or college, or at least have seen a classroom like this. For the problem with these traditional classrooms are that they are unengaging for students. There's nothing exciting going on when you're just looking at these blackboards. They're uninspiring. You're not looking for your passion. You're just trying to get into a career. And overall, they leave students feeling unconfident to enter the workplace and needing so much more training once they do get into their career. And when we're looking at professions that are more involved and have hard skills like firefighting or policing, they do start to introduce more training and more hands-on training. The problem with this, though, is in firefighting there was 5 deaths in 2019, and this is a regular occurrence per year in training alone, as well as over 7,500 injuries. And then when we look at policing, we know that the training is not working because in the past decade there's been over 200,000 cases of police misconduct. And they're cutting budgets, so they need to find a way to improve their training as well as have lower budgets for that training. So what's the solution? Virtual reality. Before I get into what we do with virtual reality, I want to talk about a study that PwC did. So they were comparing traditional classrooms to virtual reality classrooms. And they found that in a virtual reality learning environment, it was 4 times faster to train a skill. This is great because you're learning faster, but also gives you the time to repeat certain lessons that you need to learn some more and improve your skills in. It was also 3.75 times more emotionally connected to the content. So students going in and having to have conversations as a counselor or a police officer de-escalating a conversation, they're more emotionally connected than just doing a role-playing game with your colleagues. Also, 400% higher retention rates. So once you actually get into the workplace, you're remembering what you learned instead of forgetting it as soon as you're done your training or your schooling. And lastly, as I mentioned on the first slide, students are unconfident in traditional, and in VR, they're 275% more confident in applying those skills after training. So at Expert VR, we are enabling meaningful interactions regardless of physical distance, and our mission is to help 1 million people learn through doing. So far, we're doing this with institutions across Canada, as well as government organizations like the RCMP, and we're starting to expand into the States as well. Hopefully this video plays. Let's see here. Video doesn't seem to be playing. That would have been a demo of our firefighting simulation, but we'll skip past that. So basically, how do we make money off of these simulations? Well, what we're starting to do now is our SaaS products. So both in police and firefighting, we have launched SaaS products that allow students both in a college as well as new trainees or volunteers at a firefighting department or police department to get this license, and usually the school pays for it. To learn the skills that you'd be learning on the job. Our bread and butter over the past 5 years as we've been bootstrapped is our consulting packages and our custom development. Consulting packages have always been a great way to get in with a college or with an institution, and our custom development has been our bread and butter and is still a great resource for us as we're allowed to use all of the underlying IP most of the time. So that's how we've created our police and firefighting SaaS products, is by using the IP that we've built out with other colleges. Looking at our competitors, there are multiple VR competitors that specialize in different areas around Canada and around the world. Particularly, there aren't, this is just obviously a few of them, not all of them offer SaaS products, and really not any of them offer SaaS and customizability. So this is an area of having our team now that's able to custom develop if there are changes to the SaaS products has been some big benefit to our clients, as well as still keeping the costs low compared to some of our competitors. Us having an academic focus has made us have a lot of brand recognition across Canada and colleges and universities, as well as focusing in the emergency services space, even though that's not our only focus. We also have dialogues, so you can have conversations with the avatars inside of the simulation, which has been a huge benefit for practicing those soft skills that you would use in the real world, as well as having data feedback so that the professor can give you robust feedback on the skills that you're learning. Additionally, we've been told that our collaborative storytelling, sitting down with the institutions, is something that most people don't do. They're just learn what the skill is that they need to teach as a VR developer, and instead of telling a story that you're immersed in, you're just going through the motions of that skill. Versus us, we have a full story where you're told what is the crime that's happened, what are you going into, and there's a story that forms as you go through the simulation. We also have innovative IP that makes our development a lot faster and that our clients can use, and as I mentioned, very good brand recognition because we're focused on the academic and government spaces. So looking at our financial forecasts and where we're heading, our fiscal year end is actually June, so we're right here at this 2022 mark at just under $1 million this fiscal year, and with the contracts we've been lining up and locking in, we're well on our way for this 2023, probably surpassing that. This is our realistic goals for the financials, and most of this will be coming as we release our SaaS products and are able to have these higher margins. As well, we're looking to launch many more of these modules over the next 4 years. To break down the market a little bit, post-secondary institutions worldwide, there's 25,000. In North America, there's just 4,500 almost, or 17% of that. About 10% of that is in Canada. And what we're looking to do, those goals, those numbers of 2026, those revenue goals would be us just capturing 31 schools, or 0.7% of North America, or a fraction of a percent of the global market. So very doable and realistic from what we've already been capturing in the market. The team that's going to do this, we have myself as the CEO, Drew McNeil, my co-founder and COO, Josh Gavino, our CTO, and Megan Antonis as our sim development project management. We're the management team. All of us have 6+ years in the virtual reality space, and Megan actually comes from Humber College. We worked with her as a client, and she has a lot of background in the experience design and immersive learning space. We also have an amazing development team. We've actually added 3 people since I made this slide now, and we're continuously growing with the new projects coming on, as well as R&D that we're working on. Lastly, we have an amazing advisory panel being part of the DMZ, as well as people that we've met outside of the DMZ. And this basically covers every problem that ever could come up. We're meeting with all these people on a weekly or bi-weekly basis so that we can make sure we're developing our company in the proper way, as well as being part of the DMZ, Spark, Communitech, Innovate Diagram, BioLink, which is now the Rocklink. So that was my presentation. If you want to talk afterwards, happy to connect on LinkedIn or email, phone me, and yeah, open to any of your questions now. Thank you.
What? Evan, I'll start.
And just bring you one time.
Oh, sure. I get a microphone. Excellent.
So much distance.
Thanks, Andrea. So, Evan, first of all, congratulations to you. I remember when we first met in 2016, maybe?
2016,
2017, virtual reality was really this thing in its infancy, and there were some questions about, you know, what's the adoption going to be of this in the years moving forward, how applicable will it be, and so forth. But you and Drew were early adopters, and you were quick out the gate, and it's paying off, so kudos to you guys for seizing the moment.
Thank you.
And you know, my question for you is, you mentioned that there's three verticals really in this business. You have the custom consulting, the consulting,
SaaS, and our custom development.
Okay, and you're projecting some pretty aggressive growth over the next 4 or 5 years. Where do you see the majority of that growth happening? Is it in the SaaS? I know you mentioned that briefly.
Yeah, the majority is definitely in the SaaS. We've been doing great growth in the custom development. We've tripled our revenue in the past, or quadrupled our revenue in the past year with just the custom development. But for us to really scale, we want to focus on the SaaS. As with the custom development, we're developing out our team and growing our team for every new project we're taking on. So we want to kind of keep our team lean as we're developing the SaaS products.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay, and a bit about yourself. About yourself and Drew. So, you guys got into this early, and you've developed your skills as the technology has evolved alongside you. For others looking to get into this industry, is there a barrier of entry for people to learn these skills, develop these skills, and offer these services, or do you guys feel that you possess certain qualifications that make you give you a competitive edge?
Yeah, I'll be honest, on the actual development side of things, there isn't too much of a barrier of entry. There's a lot of game developers that make any major game that you would play on PlayStation or things like that, and they use very similar software to ourselves. So that side isn't too difficult. What we found is building up the reputation and getting in with the schools. We're usually working on like a 6-month to 18-month lead time to really get in with the school and start working with them. So building that relationship and having that reputation as we start to go to new schools has been the real barrier to entry that we're seeing we're honing in on.
Very cool. Thanks. That's it for my questions. Great job.
Thank you. See if I can get the video going so as we're. There we go. So yeah, just as you're asking questions, you can see in the background if it plays. There we go. So this is our search and rescue simulation. You can see kind of what we built for firefighters. Any more questions?
As far as clarification, you mentioned post-secondary institutions are your primary market, correct?
Yes.
So within universities, what departments are you targeting? I'm not sure if you're building simulations for like business schools, for example, or how that would look.
Yeah, so on the SaaS side, we're completely focusing on emergency services for the time being, just because that's where we kind of started building out the simulations, like this firefighting one. That said, with the custom side of things, like I said, we retain all of the IP under simulations we build. So we're working with Ryerson right now on a consumer behavior simulation for their marketing classes. We just finished a simulation on business ethics and leadership with Brock University. We did a counseling course, trades. So we're kind of all over the place on the custom development because our team can really handle any simulation. It's the same development process.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that was possible.
So any more questions? Okay. So next we have
And if I were to ask every one of you a question, what is the most important thing for you in your life?
Good health.
Thank you. I was hoping that nobody would say something else, but would say good health. The idea behind Salaswell is to provide a much needed service that we need to connect dietitians with the physicians. right now there is a very, very limited amount of that is available to individuals like ourselves, unless and until we go on a goose chase, try and find a dietitian ourselves. I mean, they're getting readily available, but not as much as we would like. What Saraswat is about getting better health and staying healthier, making it a joy. Aging population, as we age ourselves, we need to make sure that we age well. So when we are in the senior years, we can enjoy our good health. The biggest problem that we have right now, and that is really not where I want to focus the most, and that is our healthcare system is really, really fractured, and it is costing us a lot. As a taxpayers, we're paying a lot for it. And these are just some of the problems when you look at the main cause of it: obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular issues, cancer, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. And I'm sure some of you know a number of people who are already in this league, which is an unfortunate thing, but this good news is it's preventable, and we can manage it, and we can also reduce premature deaths from this. These are the lifestyle factors that are really contributing the most. Poor and unhealthy nutrition, lack of physical activity. That's where we focus the most, because that helps individuals come back towards a better health. Saraswat's collaborative lifestyle health and wellness app. Collaborative in the sense that it brings the physician, the dietitian, or any other care provider together with the patient, so it becomes a collaborative effort to manage your health. Why Saraswat? As I said earlier on, because there hasn't been a need, or there hasn't been a place where you could go and have a physician refer you to a dietitian. I started this thing for a very simple purpose, because I was in an issue and a situation where my physician told me that my cholesterol was very high and I needed to do something about it. And after a few questions back and forth, he finally suggested go see a dietitian. So I asked him, I said, well, do you know a dietitian where I could go or find one? He couldn't find one. He said, well, no, we don't do anything with the dietitian, but talk to Mary at the front desk and she might be able to help you. I spoke to Mary. Mary couldn't help me at all. So that's when my journey started, because I spoke to a friend of mine who was a dietitian and asked her, why is it that you people are not connected? Because you are the most people that need to be connected rather than working in the silos. So Saraswat team got together and we put our heads in terms of, what is it that we need to achieve with this thing? And the idea was, come up with a simple solution that will allow individuals to be able to either directly connect with the dietitian or through their physician or care provider be able to get referred to a dietitian to address their specific need or condition. Now, these are individuals who have been with us right from the day one to build this app, and I'm very happy to say that we have just finished the app, and we will be doing some initial soft testing, and then hopefully, if everything works out, we'll be able to go forward with the launch. What is our business model? It's very simple. Each individual that visits online with the dietitian will pay $65 per visit, and that covers a consultation for 30 minutes. Most of these consultations costs are covered by people's drug plans. Ontario OHIP is also starting to make some places where they can reimburse through a physician. If you're going through a physician, they are covered by OHIP. Okay. And also a lot of the corporate wellness, where we will be also promoting this product, they cover in their extra benefits. And on top of that, we also have the revenues that we will generate through subscription membership that is basically on the needs that they have. If they want something extra, we'll add them into that extra level. And that's where we have the silver and the gold and the platinum, because that would add value to what else they want us to cover on there. Now, we have right now 2 models that we are trying to sort of come and pick one. And this, by the way, we were in contact with the Schulich Business School and also with Northeastern University in Boston to help us come up with a pricing model that will be workable. That workable in the sense that it will work for the individual, plus also it will work for us and keep us sustainable. The one on top here, which is the dietitian pays monthly fee, is one that we are looking at as well. And the other one is that we take 30% out of $65 that the dietitian when they provide their service. So either one of them will keep us sustainable, and at the same time we'll be able to provide other areas of service that we want to add into it. And this is our revenue projection highlights for year 1 using the 30% fee that we do, and this is, by the way, was done through both. This particular one was done at Northeastern University in Boston. They developed this. They did the revenue projection for us, for what information we get. So for a quick scale up to get some traction, that's what we are seeking. And this would also enhance our app and also provide some strength for marketing and adding some extra things that we would need to add into the app as needs arrive. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to entertain you.
Well, thank you very much, Nick, for the presentation. And this is a healthcare policy challenge that policymakers have been trying to figure out for so long. And we invest all this money into acute healthcare, but how do we begin to shift that focus onto preventative healthcare to prevent people from getting to a critical illness stage? My question to you is, what is your market entry plan with the app that you've developed? The publicly funded healthcare system, it's a very complicated, bureaucratic system. Mm-hmm. What's your plan to bring this application to market? Where's the entry point there? Is it with the physicians? Is it with dietitians? How do you see that unfolding? Our
low-hanging fruit, if I may put it in that way, is with the corporate wellness. Okay, because that is a big area, and also there is a lot of need in that area. We've had companies that have we've already spoken to, and the good news, bad news, they are in the US because they are more in need and they are more quick to adapt to that. We do have one company that we have started dialogue with, but that's one of the entries. 3 companies at the present time that are very much interested in using our app with their employees. Okay, and one of them is a hospital. They want to use it for the staffs, but we are also trying to tell them there's an added benefit also when you discharge your patients. They can go on the app and they can be followed up. Because right now, if anybody goes into the hospital, especially with heart attacks or diabetes, and they're discharged from the hospital, there's no follow-up. Other than 30 minutes they spend with a dietitian in the hospital, and they're let loose, and pretty soon they'll be back in the, because they don't have much to do. Our app will allow hospitals to encourage people to follow what they've already been told, and they can be monitored because it's all online. So there's nothing that they have to come back to the hospital. They can do it from home. And the other one is obviously we'll also do some social media, go directly to the consumer in that aspect. With the bureaucrats, so to speak, there is a challenge. There's no doubt about it. I have been in healthcare. I have dealt with them for all my career. I spent a number of years working in the pharmaceutical industry, so I know the challenges, dealt a lot with the physicians. Now, with the physician, we'll also encourage them to refer their patients on the app, because we have a system that allows them to refer them directly from their own, from the app. They have a system where they can go on and select the dietitian they want to refer to, that, whether it's a cardiovascular issue or diabetes, then they can do that.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
How are you going to acquire your dietitians? What's the plan?
I'm glad you asked that. We have already a number of dietitians who are getting ready to enroll on our system, or word of mouth that we have made contacts with. But the other wonderful and encouraging thing that we have 3 universities right now. One is Ryerson, which is going to be Toronto Metro University, their dietetic program. They have come on board to their graduating classes to sign up on the app to practice their profession right off the bat, because if they are looking for jobs, or if they are looking elsewhere, in the meantime they can practice on the app and get some experience, which would be a working experience. So Ryerson has already done that. We've already had 20 students that have graduated who are signing up on. Similarly, I have an arrangement with Arizona State University with their dietetic program. They have a lot of students across North America that go into that, and that has worked out for us very well. They actually contacted me a while back and wanted to see if I could have some internship students for them. So I opened up and I said, sure. So it sort of kind of became a reciprocal arrangement now that, I'll do internship for your students, and in return, please ask them to get on this and work with us. So that's one of the key emphasis, because it is a challenge sometimes to get the dietitians, because most of them are working in the hospitals. But initially, when I started with this project, we did a survey that was done by New York State Dietetics Association. And in that survey, one of the questions they asked was, if you were given the tools to practice, would you prefer that, or would you rather still work in a hospital? 75% said no, they would rather have a practice tool rather than do that. They don't have the marketing skills. They don't know how to approach the physicians, and physicians don't know how to approach them either. So, hence, this is what kind of prompted me and encouraged me to move this. Yeah.
I'll just ask the question, just in regards to your competitors, is there anyone else building a similar app or already operating a similar app for dietitians or any other healthcare?
Well, there are telehealth and telemedicine out there. Nothing very specific to what we are doing in terms of working collaboratively with the physicians at the same time. Because that was the whole idea, because physicians are sitting in one corner and the dietitians are in one corner, they need each other. So my goal is to connect those two dots and bring them together. Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how many visits a typical person would make, and what age group or demographic would be the most visitors?
The visitor, the most that we see based on studies, again, I got involved with some of the universities to do the market research for us. And it came from 29 to 65 plus on there. And the good thing about that is, because you get a pretty wide range, but we need to sort of look at one, again, we're the quick ones that we need to, go through. And those fall anywhere between 45 to 65.
Okay, and how often would they visit? How often would they use the app?
Well, they can use the app every day because they will be, inputting their information in there.
I mean, more in terms of like economic usage, so a visit.
Sorry, again?
How often would they visit, for example, a dietitian?
That will depend on what their condition they're dealing with. Dietitian and the individual will work out and say, well, okay, if take an example of diabetes, it's a project that takes a little time to manage and bring down their A1C if they're specifically working. So they may say, okay, it's gonna take us 10 visits or 12 visits before we start putting into perspective. So based on that, they may say, okay, we'll see each other every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. We have a system in there that the individuals input the information so that on the other end, the dietitian can see that information, what they have put in there, and communicate with them without having them come for a visit. Okay? So that will eliminate the visit, but exchanging the information back and forth will be able to keep them moving forward with their goal plans for whatever they are. But it could take anywhere from 3 visits to 9 visits, even 12 visits. And they could be bi-weekly, they could be monthly, depending on how the individual is responding.
Okay, thank you, Neil. The next, it's a great presentation. So the next we have age.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for attending today. My name is Cole. I'm the co-founder and CEO at AgeRate. At AgeRate, our mission is to unlock the potential of human longevity by empowering humanity with the tools to demystify and optimize aging. And what we offer is an at-home blood test and a mobile app that allows our users to reveal how well they're aging and why, so they can make smarter lifestyle choices sooner, to be healthier for longer and age better. So, aging is the greatest risk factor for disease, but we lack the tools to truly measure it. And we all want to live a longer and healthier life, but we all age at different rates. Some of us will live a long and healthy life, while others will have theirs cut short with their later years burdened with disease. There lacks a tool that allows us to measure aging in real time, so we can begin to make smarter lifestyle choices sooner, be healthier for longer, and begin to age better. So introducing AgeRate, a mobile app and at-home blood test that allows you to reveal how well you're aging and why, and receive tailored lifestyle recommendations to help you improve. The way it works, it's simple. A user will go on our website, order one of our test kits, it's sent right to their house. They simply prick their finger, provide a small blood sample, and ship it to our lab. Once it's at our lab, it undergoes a custom analysis that our team developed that measures epigenetics. So we're seeing how your genes are actually being expressed and turned on or off in response to lifestyle and environmental factors. And we feed those measurements into our algorithms to reveal your true biological age. So your biological age represents how old you are on a biological level, and the difference between your biological age and your actual age represents how well you're aging. On top of your biological age, we also provide a variety of other health and longevity insights, such as chronic inflammation, metabolic health, immune health, and even how the quality of your diets impact your health and longevity. We feed all these measurements into a mobile app, so you'll be able to log into the app, access your test results, and also receive some tailored lifestyle challenges. And the whole premise is that our users will make a lifestyle change and then perform a follow-up test to begin to benchmark progress towards achieving their goal of slowing down aging. So we released an app on both the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Within the app, you'll be able to access your test results, so discover your biological age, the additional health and longevity insights. There's also a longevity coach within the app that provides daily lifestyle challenges for our users to try out. And you can begin to track progress over time through repeat testing towards slowing down aging. So in October of last year, we launched a beta, and we already have over 200 paying users who are using our service. These 200 users have purchased a combined 320 tests, so multiple users are ordering more than one test. And we've generated $45,000 of revenue. And we begin to get a lot of really great feedback from these early users. In addition to the consumer model, we're also beginning to pilot with some B2b organizations, so health providers and other longevity companies. We have 7 pilots initiated where, let's say, Longevity Clinic is offering this test to get deeper insights into their patients' health and longevity. We also have 2 research studies planned with some of these organizations. They're looking to do RCTs, randomized control trials, to see how effective their lifestyle programming is to actually slow down aging. And combined, these partnerships represent access to over 20,000 potential users. So this is a massive market that's growing rapidly. The digital health market expected to reach 436 billion, with our segment, the anti-aging and longevity segment, experiencing rapid growth at 22% CAGR. And if we were to achieve a 5% market penetration, that represents 7.5 billion. So in terms of the business model, there's 2 different packages for consumers. So it'll be subscription based. So the basic package is an annual subscription for $300 per year. The premium subscription is $200 per quarter for quarterly testing. The basic package is an annual test. The premium is quarterly testing. In terms of channels, so as I mentioned, we'll be selling through resellers such as the health providers and and through our e-commerce websites. So when it comes to the competition, there are a few other companies that are currently offering biological age testing, but what sets AgeRate apart from the competition is affordability and our comprehensive approach. So our team has been able to co-develop with McMaster University a custom lab analysis that brings the cost down significantly compared to the traditional way of measuring epigenetics. And on top of that, we've been able to build out algorithms that look at much more than just biological age. So as I mentioned before, we're offering a few additional health and longevity insights. For our beta, it's 5, but we have the capability to offer up to 20 additional health and longevity insights. So essentially more value for a lower cost. In addition to that, the competitors are also offering the results through a PDF, as opposed to us, we built out a mobile app, so really focusing on engagement and repeat testing. So when we assembled a world-class team of scientists and engineers who have embarked on this quest, our Chief Science Officer, Dr. Guillaume Perret, he runs a genome facility at McMaster University. He held a Canada Research Chair in Genetics and Molecular Epidemiology. He's executed over $60 million in grant research funding with over 250 publications. Our CTO, Kevin Peters, he comes from an engineering consulting background. He's worked for Accenture for quite a few years. He's delivered over $30 million in the software. So in terms of our financial projections, so we're expected to reach profitability within 26 months after we raise our current round. Our cost of goods sold is $121 with a gross margin of 47%, which is in line with other at-home testing companies in this space. So currently we're raising a $1 million round and a $4 million pre-money valuation. Just to recap our achievements to date since we started in 2018, we did raise a pre-seed round of $350K from a few accelerator programs and angels. We launched our mobile app. We developed the first custom epigenetic array, which is like a lab analysis that's commercially launched in Canada. We opened up our beta with early revenue and started pilots with those organizations. In terms of use of funds, so we're going to do our full product launch later this year. The goal is to get to 5,000 paying users and $1 billion in revenue, 12 months post raising this round. Release 5 additional insights within the app, and also build out an in-app marketplace, which is something we want to add, where users can try out different longevity products, supplements, and purchase those within the app to see how well they work to actually slow down aging. And for this current round, it's we have 50% committed, so we have a term sheet from BDC. Now, in terms of the vision, so the potential of what age rate could be, we really want to be the connector within the longevity ecosystem and build out the world's largest data set. So there's a variety of different opportunities outside of consumers and health providers, so working with insurance to enhance underwriting, corporate wellness programs, even pharmaceutical. Very much, and we invite you to join us on our quest to conquer aging. Happy to answer any questions.
I'll ask a couple questions, because I don't have any knowledge of the science. How long has the science and technology for biological age testing been around?
So it's relatively new, so less than a decade. Really, the first publications on it were back in 2013 rather. But the quest to measure biological age and begin to quantify how well we're aging, it goes back decades and decades for sure. It wasn't until recently that researchers began to look at epigenetics and understand that that's really the best way to measure and quantify how well someone's aging. And the field's starting to grow rapidly in terms of new publications and research around it.
And then, so who's your target market? Who would be purchasing this subscription?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I believe there's 3 different user segments that we've been able to identify. So, and this was through over 3,000 interviews with potential users. So there's 3 different segments. We have optimizers, so these are folks looking to optimize their health and longevity, like biohackers, athletes. We have preventers, we call them, so these are folks looking to take a preventative approach to aging. They want to make sure that they're doing everything they can to live a longer and healthier life, but they're not currently experiencing too many health ailments right now. And then fixers are folks that are currently experiencing some form of age-related decline or health issue, and they're kind of looking for answers in terms of what might be going on there, how is it affecting how well they're aging.
And then just one final question for me. Who are the lifestyle coaches, and what's their background, and how do they help, for example, fixers with their ailments?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when it comes to the lifestyle coaches, so these are like naturopathic doctors in Canada, for instance, or actual physicians in the US. They run clinics that focus on lifestyle, so providing lifestyle programming to their actual patients, and they help them with each of these 3 categories come from the health providers or physicians. They end up seeing all 3 of them, and they're really looking for ways to get deeper insights into their patients' health and longevity, and our test allows them to do that.
Thank you.
Very good presentation. Actually, my wife has done the health analysis through 23andMe.
Nice.
And she sent the results to a naturopath she works with, and they did a bunch of genetic analysis or something or other.
Yep.
It's a little beyond my knowledge. So very cool. Right? So it's somewhat relatable.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
You mentioned during the presentation that there's an algorithm that you will plug the data into. And is that an algorithm that you and your team have developed? Is this a publicly available algorithm?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it is an algorithm that our team developed. So it takes like the raw lab data. When it comes to this epigenetic analysis that we're doing, it's thousands of different data points. It's different than, really there's only a few companies out there that are looking at epigenetics. And we're looking at all this data, thousands of different data points, feeding them into our algorithms to reveal your true biological age. And that's an algorithm that our team developed.
And has that algorithm been peer reviewed or undergone scrutiny to ensure that it produces reliable information?
That's a great question. So it was validated in a large data set of about 13,000 people, and our team's currently working on a white paper. And building these sorts of algorithms is something that our team has a lot of experience doing in an academic setting at Mass University, and they built that for age.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you, Adrian. It's a great presentation. So next we have a Zoom.
And go.
All right, good afternoon, judges, and everybody else in the room. Thank you for having me. My name is Mohamed Al-Hilali. I'm 25 years old, and I was born and raised in St. Catharines, Ontario. I'm here representing Zoom Zoom. What is Zoom Zoom? Zoom Zoom is a rideshare company based out of Niagara that provides transportation for the citizens of Niagara. A little bit about Zoom Zoom. So Zoom Zoom was founded in 2012. We were just a rideshare service here in Niagara. We mainly focused on providing rideshare for students at an affordable rate. And we started off very small with about like 10 drivers on the road. And then in 2019, we secured insurance through Northbridge Insurance, who was the first company to give insurance for rideshare companies to work legally in Ontario. And in 2019, we also launched our mobile app. And currently today, in 2022, we have completed more than 30K rides and have acquired more than 20K plus users on our mobile app. So problems that we run into this, within our industry is drivers facing poor working conditions. Also the needs for younger students who maybe can't afford more expensive rides. We provide an affordable rideshare service for them. And also, number three, just urban and rural areas remain underserved. And so, on the next slide, our solutions to those problems. So our solutions to those problems are putting our drivers first, making sure they're compensated well for driving with us. Also, we serve the college students. We actually just finished our rideshare program for Brock students. We provided a service for them while they were studying later on at night and provided them with rides home. And feels local in rural urban areas. And what we mean by that is we provide special services for our consumers, as far as if a lady needs a booster seat for her children in the car, or women who need female drivers. We also provide female drivers for our women consumers. And also for older citizens that aren't really up on technology, we provide a dispatch service for them as well too, so they can still call and we can still provide them with a ride. So our competitive advantages. There are two key players in this market, which are Uber and Lyft. And so how we compete with these powerhouses is by making our rides more affordable, and also drivers share in profits. So for each ride, the driver gets 75% of the earnings on a ride, and us as a company, we get 25%. Okay. And also we provide a call center for drivers and customers for support, just in case our drivers are on the road and have any questions or need any questions, and as well as our customers as well too. And so how it works. How it works is very simple. You can find us on the Apple Store and also on the Google Play Store. Download the app, create your profile. Once you create your profile, you can go on there and book a ride, either for now or for later on. You can, after that, confirm your details as far as your pickup and your drop-off locations. And once you do that, then the third and final step is just to submit your form of payment, which is either through card, cash, or the wallet feature that we have on the app as well too. So our business model. A ride on average on the Zoom Zoom app costs about $20. A driver will make $14 off of that one call. And then our customer acquisition is $1. And our gross profit per ride would be $5. Our CLTV is approximately around $119. And we're reaching for our revenues to be $1 million at 50K rides. So our market opportunity, like I said before, there are two main competitors in this market, being Uber and Lyft. And so, but we still think there's room to play in this market and in this space. And so through doing that, with following these 3 steps, number 1 is to dominate Niagara, which we have been on the course of doing now. And how we've been doing that is by securing partnerships here in Niagara. We have a partnership with Brock University, also with Niagara College, and Niagara Tire and Battery as well too. Number 2 is to scale into new cities in the US and in Canada. And so we actually got the green light to start operating in Hamilton, Ontario, Burlington, Ontario, and as well as London, Ontario as well too. And number 3 is to explore verticals on the app. So right now on the app, customers can go on there and they can book a ride for transportation. But later on in the future, we want to make it where customers can actually go on there, get food delivered to them, also packages delivered to them. And also my idea is to get into trucking. I also want to get into the trucking business as well too. So our go-to-market strategy, we have 2 methods of go-to-market strategies, which is B2c and B2b. Our B2c market strategy is by word of mouth, our social media presence online, whether it be on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, we're all on TikTok too. We're all on all these social medias, and running ads on Google and Facebook. And our B2b partners are the university partners, like I said before, the Niagara College partnership that we have and the Brock University partnership that we have. And we also have corporate partners too through the Ice Dogs and the Niagara River Lions. And how that partnership works is that we provide a ride for their fans on their home games to the arena. And in return, they give us advertising, whether it be through email to their fans or through social media or through the arena once their fans get into the arena as well too. So our finance didn't ask. We're asking for $1 million on a $5 million evaluation. Our runway is over 24 months. And the use of the funds will be used on mostly marketing, app development, the team build, and also operations. And the team, Walid Al-Hilali, my brother, who is the founder and CEO of the business, and he sends his condolences for not being able to be here. He's currently in the United States trying to seek funding for the company. We have Monica, who's our growth lead, who overlooks the growth of the app. And we have Mateen, who is our CTO, who is our app development. And we have myself over there, and I'm the operational manager of the company. And so I wanted to thank you guys for your time here and letting me speak to you guys. And if you guys have any questions or if you guys need a copy of the slideshow, I'll be happy to give it to you guys. Also, I would really appreciate it if you guys downloaded the app as well too. Tell a friend, and really help us out here. All the help that we get from you guys helps us as well too. So thank you guys.
How are you acquiring drivers?
How we acquire drivers? So we acquire drivers through ads, whether it's on social media or Indeed. A lot of my drivers right now I get through Indeed. So we run Indeed ads, and that's how I acquire drivers.
How many do you have now?
Right now we have, in the Niagara region, I have 500 drivers.
And are your drivers employees of Zoom Zoom or contractors where they just
So-
can choose whatever rides they want?
Yeah, so drivers are independent contractors. The region looks at them as independent contractors. They can really come on, work their own schedules. A lot of them are part-time drivers. They have other jobs and they come on and it's a part-time gig.
Have you guys managed to successfully replicate the model in regions beyond Niagara yet? I know you mentioned Hamilton, London's on the horizon.
Yeah.
Is that still early stage, or have you managed to do that?
So yeah, it's still early stage, so we're just getting into that right now. So with getting the green light to operate in Hamilton, Burlington, and London, we're gonna attack that right now.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Give me some questions. Thank you guys again, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for your time.
started with our next set of pitches. And next up on the docket is the B-Data team.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
Alright, awesome. Hi, thank you everyone. My name is Owen from B-Data. So B-Data, we're here to create cybersecurity for devices. Devices means IoT device, smart device, edge device. So that's being used in industrial manufacturing facilities, that's being used in critical infrastructures. So there are many times when people driving down the road, they see a flashing red traffic light that's broken, or they open their door and then they see their the package supposed to be delivered right now, but it's not, it's delayed. What happened is they may be experiencing cyber attack, consequence of the cyber attack that's been targeting manufacturer, critical infrastructures, and supply chains. So our modern life is supported by billions, 10 billions of IoT devices, smart devices. So these devices are really proliferating our modern life and generating tremendous economic value. But at the same time, these 10 billion devices are vulnerability in our society. So they're usually just one hack away from turning from asset into liability for us. Such as the case for city of Stratford in 2019. They experienced a cyber ransom attack, and which in total cost them $1.7 million in damage and 14 days of operational system downtime. So what happened, this is very important to know that 14 days downtime means the traffic light is not working for 14 days. Some part of the city's infrastructure, such as utility supply lines, is shut down to prevent the spread of cyber attack from IT side to the OT side. So this is very important to understand the true cost of a cyber attack. Actually, it's only 4% of the cost of cyber attack directly related to paying off the ransom, and 56%, or the majority of the cost, is coming from shutting down of the operating system. Now you may ask why we need to shut down the operating system. It's because right now there's a lack of transparency on the on the OT side, which is the device side. That means they have to shut down the operation side to make sure all the device or all the machines are not affected by the ransomware. Currently, there are many companies have their infrastructures or networks set up in the same way as the city of Stratford. So they use username and password authentication system for device management. They use AI analytics for anomaly detection. However, there's a problem with this setup. First of all, a stolen password and username is devastating to organizations in, for example, for city of Stratford, and we have seen that case for Colonial Pipeline hack last year. They suffered their old accounts being stolen, and then the hackers were able to gain access to VPN. So they were shut down. They had to shut down their operation for roughly 2 weeks as well. Cost billions of infrastructure damage. And AI analytics is good for detection, but it's not very good for prevention. So by the time AI analytics able to pick up the anomaly in the network, it's already too late. That means ransomware has been embedded in that system for could be in some cases over a year, right? So, and there's generally lack of information on the device or off the device. So that's why increasing the transparency is very important. So this is how B-Data can help. B-Data creates digital fingerprints for devices in order to help our clients to avoid their device being tampered, avoid their device being spoofed, and we help to avoid their operation disruptions, and we increase device transparency. So overall, we help our clients to meet the regulatory compliance mandated by the US government. So at a high level, this is how the technology works. The BIoT technology can be deployed, BIoT stands for blockchain for IoT technology. So this technology can be deployed on edge device, IoT device, and once it's deployed on the device, it's going to generate digital fingerprints based on the hardware configurations of the device. We then store the device identity or device fingerprints on blockchain. So this can be a public blockchain or a private blockchain, depends on the need of the customer. And once it's on the blockchain, we we create a smart contract to for continuous authentication and continuous monitoring of the device. So we have created a very elegant dashboard for our customers to easily manage their IoT devices. So as is showing here, on the top of the dashboard, we have the list of the devices in actions, and at the bottom of the chart, we have the geolocation tracking of the IoT devices, and it also shows the compliance and the event log of the device. So our technology has a huge positive impact to the society. First of all, in terms of environmental impact, we have provided a platform easily for manufacturers to track the carbon emissions. Right? So in the future, they can easily trade the carbon credit. And we also protect general public by providing protections to critical infrastructure, supply chain, and manufacturer. So our technology is trusted and proven technology. We have tested our technology on Shenzhen testbed with 10,000 devices. And we have done penetration tests and scalability tests. We also, our technology is also marked as trusted technology with high potentials by IMDA, which is acronym for Infocom Media Development Agency. This is a Singapore government agency. And just like any other company in the market, we have competitors. Our main competitor is Sage. They're coming from the US. But with one key difference, we are the only company providing passwordless authentications, where Sage, they are providing session-based password-driven authentication even for the device. So we have many adapters, early adapters. We categorize them into two groups. On the left-hand side, the early adapters consist of technology suppliers. For example, Nexi, they are a supplier to Toyota. Sorocom is IoT connectivity suppliers. And on the right-hand side, we have strategic partnerships. So through these partnerships, we publish white papers and do collaboration talks, and we go to conferences together. And most importantly, we are in talk with Intel and SUSE and even ARM to deploy our technology on their chipset, so that when they are reselling their chips, when they're selling their chips to their end customers, the technology is ready to use, ready for use. So we run a SaaS subscription-based business model, and for SME, we charge $5 to $8 per license per month, and for the larger customers, we charge only $1 a month. And this is differentiated by how many licenses they purchase. This is our team. The majority of the team is here in Ontario, and we do have our presence in Southeast Asian region centered around Singapore. So Brandon Lee is our general manager in that region, and we are very proud of our advisory board. So, for example, Thomas, he's ex-CEO of Vessel in Canada. He's helping us to grow in terms of technology. Minu, she's our growth advisor, and she's a business lead in Palo Alto. Mr. Morrison, he's alumni from Columbia University, and he's also director of Reboot System. And that concludes my presentations. Thank you for listening, and I'm opening the floor for questions.
So you have customers now?
I'm sorry?
Do you have customers now?
We have POCs. So we have two POC ongoing right now. One with Sorocom, and the other one with Nexi. Yeah.
Okay. And did you get these deals yourself, or did somebody contact you?
We're very lucky to have an advisor to provide warm introduction to these companies. Yeah. So, as you can see, a lot of these companies are coming from Japan. That's because we have advisor like Mr. Morrison. He has deep connection with these companies.
Any more questions? No. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're letting me off easily? All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Stanley Castillo, founder of InScience. It is a research and development collaboration platform. I got my bachelor in biology in Peru. InScience is my second enterprise project. I started Equipamiento Científico in Peru 10 years ago, supplying laboratory equipment to universities and businesses. Through InScience, I have been able to formalize partnerships, receive grants, and establish a network with colleges and universities in Peru and Canada. There is an inability for businesses to connect with researchers because there is a lack of communication between them. So that's one of the reasons why I started InScience. Why? Because researchers develop technologies and industries use the technologies. Technologies solve problems and create new business opportunities. If they do not connect, problems don't get solved and we don't have new business opportunities. Based on this problem, I created the IPOP, Innovation Project Online Platform, to bring people and solutions together. And the platform is a place that allows businesses and researchers and startups to network and meet. And the process of the connection works like this. The company posts a business technology challenge, and we search the most relevant researcher or a startup and invite them to submit a proposal. If this proposal is accepted by the company, we consider it an effective connection. Building the prototype also allowed me to notice that we can help the companies to increase the search engine positioning. Like my first client is Coldblock. If you search in Google Coldblock startup, like InScience helps them to drive traffic to their website. Many companies pay a monthly fee to have a good search engine position. Validation. I started the validation more than 1 year ago with my first customer, Coldblock. They built an automated technology for digesting soil for the mining industry. And they partner with Amira Global. It's a research and development collaboration platform in Australia specialized for mining. So what I did is helping them introduce to my network of mining companies in Peru. I'm connected to innovation hubs, supported with translations, and arrange the introductions. My second client is Affinity Instruments, a company based in Montreal. They develop a surface plasma resonance meter. It's a product that can be a replacement for the ELISA testing for diagnostic of disease. So I connected them with a company in Chile that is looking for a method to diagnose salmon disease. So they are still working on this. Also, I connected to researchers from University of Waterloo and University of Regina and invited them to submit proposals to the business challenges. On the other side of the marketplace, I reached out to the innovation hubs that they are working with many companies seeking to innovate in areas of mining, like the Mining Innovation Hub in Peru, where my network exists, and Biotiva for agriculture, and also with the Amira project there in Australia. So I found through these pilots that what we are doing is a value to the market. There is a real problem, and they are willing to continue working with us. In fact, last month, we co-organize events. So we are taking a more leadership role, co-organizing events and launching those in their countries and also here in Niagara Falls. This is the event that we organize for the mining hub. Next to come are in agriculture and smart cities. Also, the pilot testing helped me to fine-tune my business model. When I started with Nick from Core Block, he said, okay, we pay you for the finder's fee. And I said, fine. I didn't know the industry. So I started the connections, preparing the introductions, translating documents. So I found that the initiation stage takes like 1 year. And there is a lot of brokerage work here. We need to list the projects, translate, find the relevant technologies, invite them to present the proposal. So there is a lot of work. That's why we are introducing sponsorship subscriptions. Whoever company who likes this, likes innovation, likes what we are doing, and wants to become our sponsor, we are open to have these subscriptions and help us continue developing this project. I also did a financial forecasting, and in the first year, after we hired the first team and launched, we estimated that we can get a break-even in the 5th month and 69,000 cash flow the first year. For second and third year, we estimated a cash flow of 70,000 and 100,000 respectively, and I estimated the salaries of the employees at $23 an hour, but if an increase of $10 an hour is needed, that would cost 40,000 more, which would still be covered by the cash flow, positive cash flow. Oops. So where are we on our next steps? I launched the prototype, onboard users. I also onboarded 8 users, and we plan, currently I'm working on the better version of the prototype, version 2, and expect to launch by August 1st. So our next steps is, after launching version 2, onboard waitlisted clients plus new clients. I expect by February 1st to have 24 clients more. Increase the number of academic and industrial subscriptions, optimize the user content in the site, the user experience, achieve our break-even and financial projections, hire the first team. I need a team. I have been doing everything, but I need a team to take care of the web development and another person to take care of the sales development so that we can start growing. Okay, so rework our marketing strategy. We completed a marketing evaluation study, and they found that we need to improve the communication in our site. By doing that, we can increase the positive customer perception by 26%. And also include case studies so that we can illustrate better how we can benefit our clients. And also, as we are collecting data of the papers, the patents, the technologies, one of the next steps is to incorporate artificial intelligence so that we can provide question answering system, paper recommendation, user recommendation. How does it work? For the company can post a technical question like E. coli chemotactic, and you see the score 0.73, and the paper talks about chemotaxis and Escherichia coli, and a lower score 0.41, chemotactic cells in eukaryotic, so it's more generic, and chemotactic pathways with a 0.33 is even more generic. That would do our work even faster because there are like more than 200 papers here. So reviewing one by one would be a hard work. There is an opportunity for investment. I talked to OCI. They said that if we find an investment group, they can match with 125,000 for a pre-seed round, and then with a following seed round of 250,000. So I think this is a great opportunity. So if there is an investor interested in this, I'm super happy discuss with them. Thank you to all the organizations. Here is my contact information. Thank you.
How are institutions and businesses currently collaborating without the use of your app or your technology? Is there any sort of other platforms that they'd be using or methods that they'd be connecting with each other?
Yes. Universities hire industrial liaison officers, and they pay them so they can do these connections. Yeah. And there are also other platforms that are connecting businesses or companies connect with hubs and launch open challenges, expecting to connect with any researcher. But my insight is that this is much more complex than just posting a challenge or hiring somebody. There is much work involved.
Thank you, Sandy, for the pitch. And so your platform essentially is like a board, like a job board, for example, where people can place an opportunity and facilitate connections with those in the industry who may be looking for those types of solutions. Do I understand that properly?
50% is like a job board, and all the research is their CV, right? But it's also like a Remax place where there is a broker that is assigned to the project.
How labor intensive would the process be for that brokerage element, where you're actually trying to facilitate the connection between the industry partner and the academic researcher?
I still need to fine-tune that. At the beginning, I started everything manually, but I am identifying things that can be scaled and automatized. So I believe that labor management could be perfectly articulated to the work of the industry liaison that the university are already hiring. So if we can accommodate this platform as a tool that they can use, and that would be even better. And I have one university back home in Peru, well, is my professor, but he said he has 25,000 to test the platform. So what I am looking for as well is for a grant that can leverage that opportunity, because I want to hire people and start growing.
Any more questions in the audience? Okay, thank you, Stanley. Thank you.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Samko. I'm one of the co-founders of the Niagara Eats. We do food content creation and restaurant marketing for local restaurants here in the Niagara region. So ultimately, we use social media marketing to really sell different restaurants to new customers within the Niagara region. So we work with any food and beverage industry here and really promote their services, their food, their experience to all of our dedicated followers. So social media marketing is essentially using social media platforms to really sell a product or service. As you probably already know, social media is the most liked activity for all Canadians. It is now the #1 source for marketing and advertising. In Canada, the number of social media users has gone up to 33.3 million, and at least 95% of Canadians have at least one social media platform. So people are using social media for a variety of different reasons. Our platform allows them to do a lot of the top uses. So whether it be finding content, seeing what's being talked about, having the opportunity to really find products to purchase, finding inspirations for things to do and buy. We're highlighting different food and beverage industries and allowing our clients to seek some new local restaurants to support. The problem essentially in Niagara is that food and beverage businesses don't really have the resources and the time to effectively implement social media marketing into their business and marketing models. So we work very closely with them to really create some quick and capturing content because old marketing techniques are no longer working as they used to. So the Niagara Eats really works to help Niagara restaurants gain exposure. We offer restaurant marketing to local Niagara food and beverage businesses, and we've developed a community of over 20,000 individuals on our different social media platforms, being Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We are super passionate about supporting local, and so is our following. So they are constantly, like I had mentioned, looking for that new place to discover and willing to support. Working with us is extremely easy and affordable, and we promise results and can guarantee new customers. Here is our B2b business model. So essentially we have 3 different collaboration packages, and we work really closely with this business program to learn more about how we can put a model into practice that works best for our needs. So here you can see we have the app, the full course, and the entree. Essentially what we do is we go to the restaurant, we attend, we get to try all of the amazing food, really capture the full experience of what it's like being there, and then we highlight that platform on our social media channels. So the main difference between the 3 collaboration packages is just simply which social media channel you're going to be highlighted on. Our most popular is the full course. So we've worked with over 300 businesses so far. We've done a lot of different advertising for them on all of our different platforms. Facebook, Instagram is our top, and then TikTok recently has just skyrocketed. So you can see in this slide here, I have an example of kind of what our content looks like and the reach that we get. Specifically for our social media platform, majority of our clients are all from the Niagara region. So you can look at our analytics, which you can see here, and majority fall within those large municipalities within the Niagara region. 97% of our followers are also all within Canada. So they can easily get to us, and that's what makes us so unique than a lot of other marketing companies, or by using just boost methods or Facebook advertising. This was a recent collaboration with Karma Chameleon. We reached over 77,000 accounts. We had over 1,000 likes and almost 1,000 shares. Some partnerships that we're currently working on is a referral partnership with Invico, and 2 of the individuals working for Invico are Matt Anthony and Burton Campana. They do some social media marketing for different local Niagara food and beverage restaurants and businesses. And essentially what we do with them is if our restaurants or our clients are looking for someone to support them with social media managers, management will refer them to them and vice versa. And it's a nice collaboration between the 2 of us so that we can give that restaurant continuous social media support. As well, we're piloting a membership program. So currently our collaboration programs are very one-off, one post. Moving forward, we want to do more of a continuous either quarterly or monthly post to continuously highlight that restaurant. We're in the process right now of piloting that. It's been a little bit of a challenge because this is not something we have feasibility for right now. It's just 2 of us running the show. So it is something that we are exploring moving forward. We also work with local social media managers such as Courtney Todd, who very similarly as Matt and Roberto, work with different restaurants, and we have a nice collaboration with her where she'll refer us to her clients. And we have a pending agreement with CAA. They have a variety of different partnerships that they work with, a lot of restaurants, hotels within the Niagara region, and we're working on a formalized partnership with them. Our competitive analysis here, you can see we are very different from those social media influencers or those marketing companies. And the main difference between us is that, like I had kind of mentioned already, we have mainly a Niagara following. We're very, very niche to Niagara. We also thrive on being authentic and very transparent. We put our name and our brand behind the Niagara Eats. We are family, we grew up in the restaurant industry, and we use that to our advantage to really highlight our support for local. We have a very dedicated following. They reach out, they share their opinions, they're constantly talking to us and asking for recommendations. We are affordable in comparison to a lot of marketing companies and big influencers out there. We have engaging content, which allows people to really, once again, see that experience and be involved in the process, and that engaged community online that really trusts us. Our growth, essentially, we have the potential to work with all of the food and beverage businesses in the Niagara region, and we know that this is a tourist area, so lots of great potential there. It's just a matter of really marketing ourselves and getting ourselves out there to restaurant owners. In the past little while, we've really grown in terms of our TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We're at about 18,000 followers on TikTok, about 7,000 on Instagram, and it's continuing to skyrocket every day. This has been a great opportunity to really build that online community, and also, like I mentioned, it's just the two of us. So now that we're putting a lot more time and energy behind it, we're seeing those numbers really increase. Our goals moving forward is to really complete our membership pilot and really understand which kind of package is going to work best for our clients. Also introduce some new marketing strategies to really gain some new clients as well, whether that be cold calls or email marketing. We want to retain and continue to grow our following. Become a certified business by 2023. So we just recently incorporated that revenue model. Before we were just doing this out of our hearts, it was something we were interested in. Eventually we noticed this can be a full-time business. So that is one of our immediate goals, is to really look at the more business side of things and establish ourselves financially as well, being able to track and monitor our revenue. And invest in some social media dashboards to really support and eventually recruit a new team member. That's number one on our list. This is our small but mighty team. So this is my cousin Claudia. She couldn't make it today, but Claudia does more of the content creation. So she does the TikTok, Instagram, Facebook posts and captions, as well as doing the photo editing and video development. And of course, she attends the collaborations. And then my work's a little bit more behind the scenes. I do a lot of that relationship client interactions. I respond to a lot of our requests, do the invoices, answer emails, schedule and arrange our collaborations. And of course, I attend the collaborations because I can't miss out on some free food. That's it for me, so thank you so much for listening. It was a really quick synopsis of the Niagara Eats. If you did want to get in touch with us, you can connect with us by visiting our Instagram handle at the Niagara Eats, sending us an email, or visiting our website.
How long does it take for you guys to do like one client for one event?
So we go just one time. So it'll take about an hour or two. We go to the restaurant, we take all of our content, everything that we need. We head home and then we do all the work behind the scenes. So in terms of the client's interaction or dedication at the time, it's only about an hour or two. Some clients take a little longer. They might want to have a conversation or learn more about the metric side of things, where others just want that picture and video taken and they're on their way.
And there's some post-processing you gotta do as well.
Sorry?
There's some post-processing after you click the content.
Yeah, so we get the content and then on our end, we will take care of the caption, putting up the post and everything on our own time. So we don't bother the business owner at all unless, of course, they want to be involved in that process.
How many businesses can you do in a week, for example?
So currently I'm working full-time and my cousin's full-time doing her master's. So we've maxed out at about 3 per week. Just because we don't have the capacity, but moving forward, we want to do more. Yeah?
First of all, thank you for the pitch, and thank you for being part of our Table Talk event as well. Nice to meet you in person. I know we chatted over Facebook. So I can see where there's some difference from influencer marketing and what you're doing. The business model is kind of a variation of influencer marketing.
Absolutely.
I think I would say. Do you have plans, for your growth strategy, do you have plans to build this beyond just your social pages? Because right now, from what I see, I think the business is limited to your social accounts. And as you scale this, do you have plans to maybe build beyond that in some way, shape, or form?
It's not off the table. Definitely something we want to explore. We just don't have the feasibility, and we want to make sure that if we are going to go ahead with doing something more, that we have the time and resources behind it so that we can do it effectively. We don't want to just do something to do it. So I think our goal right now is to really master this component of things and then see where it takes us.
I think you're tapping into something new out there. I mean, if you look at what the Facebook group Restaurants of Niagara has done,
We work very closely with them. Yeah.
it's really phenomenal, like the exposure that local businesses have got through that
Absolutely.
channel. So cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. It's a great presentation.
Thank you.
Yes. So.
Everyone, I'm Sam Alessio. This is AJS Everett, Bob and George. We're going to introduce today our personal zone air purification system, which is meant to help reduce the risk of a virus spreading within the indoor spaces where you congregate and eat and meet. Just this slide here kind of tells you that the indoor dining space or the congregation zone people meet are super spreaders. The asymptomatic people coming in, they don't know they're sick. They come in and make people sick with both flus, viruses, such as COVID. Masks are just not practical when you're dining or having a business meeting together in a meeting room, for example, or congregating in a reception area or a teller. And basically, it's very disruptive. It means that productivity is lost. It's more than COVID. We're talking about basically flus and viruses, such as colds as well, that are going to cause productivity losses. Industry healthcare costs is greater than COVID. It's going to keep going. Some of the statistics you have over here, we can talk about that later on, is the fact that there's lost productivity of $35 billion due to colds, viruses going on in the industry in North America and growing. It's about $3,500 of absenteeism loss per employee, per company, due to people staying home because they're sick, due to having a flu or other viruses. If you think of wellness, companies coming in and investing in to help the environment inside a company a little better for the employees. McKinsey shows up that for every $1 you invest, you get a $2 to $4 yield improvement, people liking what you're doing and showing your employees that you care about them. And of course, all this disruptiveness coming in, the low-wage employees keep sharing the largest share of the losses. So what AGSF is introducing, you see some samples, actual functional samples showing up over here, is the Pisa, Personal Zone Air Purification System, and it is a patented product that we have. It's made to basically make sure that where you are meeting, eating, congregating, in your zone here, within a room, you segmented the room into several zones, where you're meeting, the HEPA filter is cleaning the air, and then coming out, you have purified air coming out to where you are, again, making this zone a safer zone for people to meet, eat, and congregate. The value proposition, very simple for people that are eating or meeting, is the fact that if you're asymptomatic, unlike the room cleaner, like the HVAC cleaners, asymptomatic person comes into the room, comes into your area, doesn't know he's sick, causes problems for you. Our machine is made to clean the area in that segmented zone, such that we will help you not get sick. Everyone feels they're safer, and again, it's quiet enough to operate while you're communicating, meeting, or eating. That just tells you how the filter comes in. Of course, it's not working very well, but that's okay. The target segmented markets we're talking about. You can put these things wherever the congregation zones are. We're focusing, there's a whole bunch of here, we're focusing on the ones that are yellow there, and they are in the factories and warehouses, the bank branches, distribution centers, again, the cafeteria or reception rooms, reception areas, meeting rooms, the accommodation hotels, again, the same thing, where you meet at the beginning, where you get your room keys, and also in meeting rooms and indoor dining establishments within the hotels, finance and insurance establishments. Those are the ones we're really going after first in our market. Why are we going after them first? Because they have the means to invest in capital to make things safer, and their productivity losses are real for them. It reduces their earnings per share per quarter, we keep talking about, if you don't make people come into work and feel safe and keep the lines moving on productivity. So there's also a greater demand for air quality improvement. That's a brand awareness everyone's talking about now. It's a trend everyone's talking about these days. We want to make sure that where we are working together, we feel safer. That's what's going on. We want to make sure that everyone's safer. Our PSAP machines actually does that in the area where you're physically meeting or congregating, eating. There's a pain with all these employers. The fact that sick days do cause poor productivity. Now, if anyone knows in manufacturing, if you have like 10–50% of your factory people away for being sick, it affects the whole line. You can't, this is the way it works. It's not just having 10% less productivity. For the other owners' employees, you have to reduce the sick days. So if we can make our ROI simple, within a year, you pay it back. If you think of a 100-person company, that's about $400,000 a year of lost productivity. If we can make an ROI of less than 3 months to pay it back, commercial industrial companies are going to want to invest in this product technology because it's going to help them make money. Yes, it's going to make people safer. Yes, it's going to make people healthier, but it's going to make them save money. And that's going to be the primary reason why they're going to invest in the first place. Everyone's showed us all day today, these big bubbles, and I think we all have all of them. The top one over here is, I think, in Niagara Falls, $100 trillion probably, the whole market size. But if you look at all the installation bases for where we can put PSAP in these congregation zones in North America, I worked it all out, all those different segmented areas I showed you earlier. It's about $24 billion worth of installation base sales. If you look at the addressable market, it's about 2.4. I want to hit this one here. If we just hit 1% of Canadian-only installation bases in those just highlighted ones I brought in, those 5 ones I highlighted, it's a $30 million opportunity right away, okay? Our competitive analysis for AGSF is as follows. I mean, you look at the things you want to do. Unlike the air cleaners out there, it's going to, yes, clean the air over a period of 7 times per day or whatever it has to be. But if you're asymptomatic, come to the table, it doesn't do a thing. So it addresses efficacy in discrete zones. We're the only ones actually discrete zoned ideas here. We're looking at figuring out where we can save you health issues in the areas where we're actually meeting and congregating. It does address the asymptomatic carrier, comes into the room, takes care of that. A lot of the others don't. And it's economical. The ROI, again, the same thing is we're not trying to sell you $1 million opportunity that's going to save you $1,000 a year. It's the other way around. Our go-to-market strategies are very simple. We have, between the three of us, a lot of years of expertise. I know we're a startup and have some gray hair.
You can tell by the gray.
So, you know, I graduated last year. So we're still in our 20s, but in our late 20s. And
Very late.
So we know how to sell in the direct and the channel market. The channel is very simple, industrial distributors that handle products and services for those industrial commercial areas, hit the factories, you know, meat packing plants and all that good stuff. And then of course there's direct sales. We have enough experience that we know where to go. And the demand creation is really simple. Everywhere we've gone and shown the demonstration of these things, to do a demonstration at the customer says, when can I buy them? How can I buy them? So just demonstration, trials is a methodology of creating demand creation. We're doing that. We're engaging with the unions and industrial healthcare groups to say, this is going to help you become more safe, right? And that's, once that helps leverage the conversation towards getting a purchase order and closing the deal and basically making the site safer. We're going to leverage with partnerships like we're doing today with Niagara Falls, Spark here, municipal for pilot programs in the area. That's what we're hoping to do right now with Niagara here today. Referrals for public health agencies. We're working with all the public health agencies. We talk to people in the Ontario Science Center, table, that helped us say this is a good product. They actually tell us that. So keep moving forward on this. Media news and engaging with the different associations in the marketplace. There's the three of us going on. Won't talk about that, but you know who we are.
Sign photograph or
We're signing later. Real simple stuff, but we have a lot of patents in place, and this is a patented application as well. So we have a lot of patents in our hands. Milestone, real simple milestones. We started this thing in 2020. The important things you see here, we made functional prototypes pretty quickly. What's important here, we got some OTF funding to help us out with some patents. We initiated the patent, and we actually got our patent awarded this spring. We just finished testing with McMaster, our initial test with McMaster this week. Third-party validation with the world leader of PPE that has done the work. And their numbers come up at 80% reduction using Pisa of particulates in that zone we're talking about. So it's very, very good. It's twice as good as anyone else.
You have to bear in mind that these are relatively sophisticated tests. And yesterday was when they ran the first test for us. So initially, this really buoyed our spirits because we didn't really know whether or not what the reduction rate was going to be. Just with that initial testing, and they have to do some improvement to it, we reduced the particulate by 80%. That's a significant number.
Third-party validation is important, product validation. We're looking to build prototype tooling right now so then we can start selling at the Canadian target markets and then grow globally. Our sales numbers are here. We're putting numbers that are small. Again, we look at this thing, 1% get to the $30 million. Also, is a secondary revenue stream, which is the filter replacements. So we're telling people to replace their fan filters twice a year, once every 6 months, like you change your filter and oil on your car. So that replacement business at 1% installation base after you sold this, you're getting this from that 1%. So you can see the numbers, how they go pretty quickly. That was it. Our ask is basically to help us get product trials and demonstration, looking for some investment money and for prototype, more production tooling and engineering, and help us increase our traction to help improve the safety of people that are congregating in indoor dining spaces. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
If
I may.
Go ahead.
If I may, I'd like to interject just one more piece of information for you. Many of you people might think that this is another air purifier. There are hundreds of them out in the market. I can easily put one of them at the corner of the room or even on top of the table or desk. That should do the same thing. No, they do not. What we are doing is controlling the air in such a way that if I am shedding virus and if Bob is standing next to me without mask or eating something, then by the time virus coming from my mouth gets to the purifier, he would have caught the virus because it takes way too much time. By providing this, we are addressing the contamination in the local area so that we can eliminate that type of risk in the local area. And to the best of our knowledge, this is the only product in the world which would do this kind of job.
Thanks, George. Thank you. Yeah.
Maybe what I would do is encourage you to take 2 minutes and come up and take a look at the Pisa app while they're running. Put your hand on it. Don't break it though.
Breaking you buy it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We have
Price
one
just
that's-
went up.
We have one that's hanging up from the ceiling that go, and one's to stand on the table.
What square footage or what radius would one of these devices?
I can think of a dining table, 4 feet by 4 feet, and the cubic feet that you have coming up to the Pisa app. That's really the area that we're trying to control. So that's the area that we're trying to control.
So in an industrial setting, you would be paying.
You could, yes, yeah, absolutely.
In a cafeteria, a factory cafeteria, you put one at every table. Remember, segmenting the zones. But we're being economical, we're not trying to, these will be under $1,000, so it's not a crazy number.
And when you're sitting down talking, this is not a judgment, because if you're in a restaurant or in a cafeteria, there's these run at what, 45 decibels, something like that?
Yeah,
45 is what the normal conversation is. After you've had a couple of glasses of wine, we should have brought the wine in, and then we could have had a real demonstration here.
It's on.
Very gentle.
Ask one clarifying question, what do you mean?
You really don't want
by
it just
addressing
pounding on you.
No.
Sure.
Barriers and
But
why
if you put your hand on your ear, you can feel it.
So what happens is, all our competitors, what they're doing is they're putting like a UV system, up in an HVAC system, or in a corner somewhere. And so first of all, for this asymptomatic person doesn't notice it, right? So he comes into it, I'm asymptomatic, so I don't know I'm sick, but I'm carrying something, flu or COVID or whatever else. I come sit next to you, have dinner, or meet with you, or record with you, right? That's what I'm addressing. I'm addressing the fact I'm going to be right next to you, as George says, in a controlled zone. And by the time I spew my viral load out in that area, only our machine will control that zone and take care of the fact that by the time my viruses come out of me, it goes into the Pisa app, and you're getting purified air coming around this area, so you are safe. If you had the corner thing over there, I'm here, you will catch the flu, I guarantee.
So there's no other competitors who have like a tabletop purifier or?
Same idea, it goes this way. It's not addressing what we're doing. Correct.
So the airflows is different?
The difference is we're having both clean air coming, we're purifying the air, we're taking the air into here, and then the most important thing, as George has mentioned, is the air is coming out here. A lot of people don't do that. So we're building a whole, we're taking that zone and segmenting. That zone is now a safe zone. Whereas everyone else is talking about, we're cleaning the air,
We're
10
controlling
times an
a
hour.
very specific cubic feet where that table is or where that area is. That's what we're controlling, not with the ventilation system that you have here that has air change. When you sit down unmasked, which is now the trend, unmasked to dine or to talk with somebody, then you have this particular amount that we're going to control for you. Make it safer to have that discussion, to have that dining experience. That's what this does. Yes, there's all kinds of HVACs there in the corner up there, but this is specifically across from 4 people, just to use it. That gives you the opportunity to give you another layer of safety. We're not saying get rid of the HVACs here or there. We're saying that this will just give you that personal zone air purification system right at your table that can control the movement of viral loads. We're reducing that. So the chances of you catching something are much, much less than if you didn't have this.
And we'll be offering 3 types of installation. Original design is meant to be hung from the ceiling for permanent installation, but some places they don't want that. They want to be able to have flexibility. So for that, one option is a stand. This is a homemade, crude stand, but this will be properly designed. But the idea is that this will be pushed under the table so that the pizza will be still sitting in the middle of the table. And then for other applications, we will have a portable self-contained unit where a battery is built in. So all you have to do is just pick it up, move it to whatever you'd like to have it.
This is the third generation that George is designing,
And the three of us,
as it evolves out of these three different areas.
some part of our patents, of our 30 or 40 patents is in lighting, so the three of us are in lighting. So you're gonna get lighting for free here. And when you take the pendant light out from a restaurant or a dining room or a meeting room, is there lighting? The lighting is provided. So you're getting that.
I mean, this is a perfect drop-in for if you've ever been to some of these smaller restaurants, sit in a booth and they have a pendant light. This is a perfect drop-in for that. You get the lighting and you also get the purification of that particular zone. So it's a win-win in particular applications, not for all, but for particular ones.
For your clients, the value proposition is in your workforce, and their health.
Yes.
And less absentee days, and sick
Yes.
days, etc.
Yes.
Yeah. If you look at the statistics, over 85% of people are getting sick at work where they congregate. Meeting rooms, eating. When they're working in their office, they're working in front of a computer or a phone, you just people call them, they don't get sick there.
Well, go back about a year ago, if you recall, in Ontario, where they're having the problems in the meat packing plants. Where did all of this start? It started in the cafeterias because they became unmasked. They were sick, and they are all together. If you looked at the first picture that I think we showed, it's a large cafeteria. Nobody's masked, and there's nothing to control the movement of a viral load in there.
But when they're working, they have masks, shields, if you look at meat packing, they're
not when they're
gloves.
eating.
No one's getting sick there. It's where you are unprotected.
And that answers my question. I was going to say you can control in a specific environment, but what about all the other times throughout the workday where they may be interacting? The answer would be that
We're addressing the 85%. We're addressing where do people get sick. And you do a Pareto analysis, you know about that. So 85% of that number is where they congregate, where they meet in the meeting room. If you're a bank teller, I went to the banks. The banks hate that plexiglass. You still get sick. Tellers still get sick. So when I'm coming to you to bank, you want one of these here. The bank teller loves it because the bank likes me, loves me, cares about me. I feel terrible. I don't know who's coming in front of me. I like it because I see this thing coming in. And the plexiglass aren't doing anything. They're not doing anything. Okay. This is actually going to address both the client and the employee at the bank, for example. And the ROI is less than 3 months. So look at the bank manager saying, that's not a bad ROI. If I can just save even 25% of the sick days, I get my money back in 3 months, I make the employees feel good, I make my clients feel good. Where do why not do this?
One of our key targets will be the unions and the occupational safety people. The management may say, I'm not paying for that, but the unions may say, I want my employees safer. This is going to be a criteria of the contract or whatever. So that will be a very specific target market for us as unions and occupational safety professionals.
Any other questions?
What do you plan to price this at?
We're trying to price it under $1,000 each.
What's your EBITDA margins?
At that, it's over. At that number, it's about 60%.
We're in the formulation stage of getting our bill of materials in line with our cost. And once we get that, we'll certainly have a little bit more information as to it. But we certainly don't want to make it for 100 and sell it for 90.
No. But our goal is to make it for only $350 and sell for under $1,000. That's what we're working towards doing that. And you need room for distribution.
Is there any recurring revenue opportunities?
Yes,
What's it
filtered.
Filtered.
So it's every one of the installed base, every single Pisa app will bring you $80 of recurring revenue.
Well, that's why I said, could use planned obsolescence where you have to buy a new PZEP every year, but I don't think that would go.
But there's a recurring revenue, which is important. And you saw the number that was put up. So 1% of the Canadian installed base gets you $4.7 million of replacements and $30 million of installation sales. And that's just 1% of just the targeted market that I brought in, which is nothing compared to the rest of the world. That's a recurring revenue question. That help? It's a customized it's a customized filter that we designed.
Thank you. Sorry, hand.
Well, these here, if you notice these are tacos that you had to make.
Someone asked a question, I don't know who put their hand up, I don't remember. That was everything, that we answered them all?
Okay, great. If we're done with the questions, thank you so much, ATSF, your team. We're going to take a quick 10-15 minute break and reconvene at 3:15 for our final two pitches. Thank you, everybody.
thank you so much for being here, and I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about my brand, Please Notes Goods. There we go. So a statistic that I read that was kind of shocking to me actually said that by the time that we're 18 years old, 95% of our habits of thought have been ingrained in us. So these are things like the way that we deal with trust, the way that we deal with confidence, how we see ourselves and, of course, other people. And I don't know about you, but the Cheryl that I was at 18 wouldn't even be able to be standing in front of you today having this conversation. I would have felt guilty that I was taking your time and that you obviously wouldn't care about anything that I have to say. So how do we go ahead and change that? And that really comes to building up new neural pathways. And we do that through repetition and emotional involvement. Now, the more we reiterate something that we do want and we pair that with a strong emotional feeling, whether that's appreciation, joy, guilt, or, of course, frustration, then it actually becomes our new habit of thought. Now, of course, the more that we practice it, then the easier it is for us to believe that, in fact. And this is why we decided to start Please Notes. When you're able to do that inner work of finding out your current habits of thought and choosing, this is what I want, this is who I want to be, then you're actually able to reinforce those habits of thought that you want to be true. Again, allowing you to live with the confidence, the courage, and go after the goals that you really want. One of the things that we do is we really focus on experiential working or learning because, of course, we actually have the highest level of retention when it comes to experiential learning. For example, when it comes to learning different learning styles, if you're just listening to something, you're about 20% retention rate. If you're reading something, you're at 20% retention rate. Then, of course, if you're actually doing it, you're at about a 75% retention rate. Now, our signature item is actually this guided journal here, and the great thing about it is it's kind of like the equivalent of touching a stove and knowing, like, this is actually hot versus somebody telling you that it's hot. You're the one discovering your own truths and therefore making it much more powerful for you. And hi, my name is Cheryl, and I'm, of course, the founder of Please Notes. I actually identify as being a first-generation Canadian, like a plethora of people here. And with that came a lot of really good things and not so great things. My parents were very much focused on taking care of things. You know, you don't push the envelope, you don't ask for too much. And that's really great when it comes to, you know, making sure that you're paying the mortgage, but not so great when it comes to attempting to advance your career or even perhaps start a business. Now, I honestly had the opportunity to get involved in personal growth, and it completely changed my life. Over the last 10 years, I've had the opportunity to actually move to a different country and really pivot my whole career to dedicating to this. I've actually had the opportunity to learn and be endorsed by some amazing leaders and top people in this particular field. And I've even been able to start doing some coaching as well for women that are also looking to grow themselves and be more courageous. The thing that I noticed, though, is the way that I can make the biggest impact is by making this accessible. I've had the privilege to be able to invest in myself with personal development, but some people don't have $15K lying around. And I'm always about making things easy, making things fun, and therefore it's a habit that you want to actually stick to, and that's why Please Notes was created. All right, so the whole line consists of workshops, there's also physical goods, and of course digital goods too. Now the great thing about it is we're not meant to be a replacement for like a Tony Robbins or a Lisa Nichols. We're actually a really great introduction to an amplifier for people that are looking to get involved in personal growth work. The great thing about the personal development field and of course the wellness field is it's had a renewed interest, especially when it's come to the panini, as I like to call it, the panoramic, because people are really understanding that their mental wellness is key and it's super important. The great thing about this as well is within this particular industry, there's an 80% repurchase rate, meaning that people will start in the personal growth journey and then continue buying more items. Within the line, we have a plethora of goodies that are actually complementary and stackable. So once you fall in love with something from Please Notes, you're probably going to come back and purchase something else. Throughout the history of the company, we've been primarily focused on B2C. However, over the last 2 years, we've been pivoting to be more B2b, and it's been really great. We've had some great success there, really combining a lot of our workshops with the physical items as well. So our target market is #amazing, and they are actually having the highest purchase power as well. They often buy personal development goodies for themselves and then for others. And we surveyed our clients, which of course is super important, and they actually found that their biggest pain points to really excelling in their careers and of course in starting a business are actually the pain points that we address in our products. In fact, 85% of them reported changes in the way that they saw themselves and their obstacles as a result of using our goods. Within the secondary research, our target market is continuing to grow. We have a plethora of millennial women that are investing in themselves. In fact, 77% of them, in fact, are actively involved in personal growth work. And then 88% of them actually say that the most effective way for them to learn is through physical exercises, through workshops, and of course, goods like what we have. So this here just shows the current market for personal growth, and it's actually been one of the most resilient ones out there. Through recessions, again, through the panini, it's been continuing to grow, and it's actually estimated to grow about 5% over the next 5 years. In addition, the 2019 size of the market was actually 38 million USD and continuing to grow. So what happens when women feel more confident? Basically, everybody wins. We are actually amazing at impacting and investing in different places that have been traditionally overlooked. And then the more wealth that we have, the more innovation can go into these different fields that have been traditionally male-led. Now, the funny thing about this is that only 39% of women believe that they can actually start their own business versus 55% of men. And this really comes down to that matter of confidence and self-perception. So, of course, there's a plethora of people doing things like this, and when it comes to direct competitors that may have like stationary lines or other wellness lines, and of course indirect competitors that also have a plethora of different items, we actually have a very wide breadth of items that do stack together and work together to create a holistic experience. Now, this is of course what we've done thus far, and I'm gonna say it, I'm really proud of what we've done. These are of course wholesale sales, and even though we've again gone through a little bit of change with the panini, that we've continued to grow and then excel as well. We are actually looking to continue to grow, and we've done so thus far primarily using unpaid or organic marketing as well. It's primarily been collaborations and word of mouth as well. Of course, this is our returning customer rates, and it just kind of highlights the fact that our goods have been really well received, and people really like our products and then tend to come back for more. So over the last 6 years, what have we done? So we've actually had 4 successful Kickstarter campaigns, had the opportunity to place as a finalist in both the Life and Style and All Things Paper in the National Stationery Show. And we've had a really great amount of media as well, really focused on in articles and then in segments focused on entrepreneurship, mindfulness, stationery, and of course, women's empowerment. So now that you've seen where we're at, where are we going? So this is really based on the fact that we are, again, pivoting towards B2B, and we're actually planning on investing more when it comes to our retail strategy and getting into more wholesalers in both the US and Canada. Now, what we're also looking to do is actually build inside sales by increasing the amount of logos that we have and then driving repurchases throughout existing clientele or existing wholesale clientele. We are also wanting to leverage relationships by having brokers and getting into more lovely stores there. And then, of course, we're going to be doing more advertising and marketing into more wholesale spaces like using Fair and, of course, Tundra as well. Now, this is the team that we currently have, and of course, we're continuing to grow, but they are also here to help us overcome any obstacles and continue to build the business. And that's basically it for me. Now, if you would like to, you can whip out your phone and scan this QR code, and it'll take you directly to the website. And then that way you can get to know a little bit more about Please Notes, a little bit more about me. And I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Any questions from the judges?
It was an excellent presentation, Cheryl.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
From start to finish. Very well done. And just so I'm clear, the journals, are they guided journals? So as you go through it, there's different prompts or exercises?
Definitely. So in the line currently, there's 4 different versions. There's a manifestation, a gratitude, a clarity, and a dream journal. Right now, we've got 2 that are physical, and of course, you can come by the booth and then play with them as well. But yes, they all have different exercises, and I also have workshops that are attached to those as well. Now, within the clarity journal specifically, because you're always going through something different, you might want to redo those exercises again, and that's available as a free download as many times as you want once you've purchased the item.
Where can I find these journals and books?
No, if you're not going next door, we do have in physical locations, we're ramping that up again. We're in the Black-owned Toronto store in Scarborough Town Center. We're also in a couple other shops like the Happy Soul that's here in downtown Toronto. We're also in Vortex Wellness in Collingwood. There's a plethora of different places as well. Or of course you can purchase directly from our website. And if you're here, it's free shipping, so.
Great, any more questions?
Great, thank you so much. I'm sorry?
We're just gonna switch PowerPoints.
Currently there are 44 Canadian
Everyone, thank you guys for being here today and taking the time to learn more about Tribe Meals. My name is Zomi and I'm the proud founder at tribemeals.ca. So what is Tribe Meals? So we cook and deliver a week of healthy multicultural meals to health-conscious clients from Niagara all the way down to the GTA. We make foods, healthy meals from different parts of the world, from Nigeria, the Caribbean, India, Asia, everything healthy that you can think of. So here's a little bit about our story. Tribe Meals actually was created because of my 100-pound weight loss and fitness transformation journey. So when I moved from Nigeria to Canada, I had a very hard time finding healthy meals that I could enjoy and that were convenient. So I opted for burgers, pizza, ice cream, and just all kinds of unhealthy options that you can think about. Eventually, I gained 100 pounds. I was weighing around 300 pounds on the scale, and I knew something was bad. So I learned about meal prepping and exercising and the importance of living a healthy lifestyle. In 6 months, I was able to lose 100 pounds, and I was in the best shape of my life. I eventually became a fitness trainer, and I also offered to cook healthy meals for my clients in Niagara. We created a separate brand where we're just focused on cooking for our clients, and this is how Tribe Meals was created. Some of our target markets will include busy professionals who are millennials who don't have time to cook or have no knowledge about how to put together healthy meals. Baby boomers are also buying foods for their kids, themselves, and their parents. We also cater to fitness trainers because they have a wide group of clients who need healthy meals weekly. We cater to athletes and sporting events. So this year we're going to be providing 10,000 meals to the Niagara 2022 Canada Games. And we also have the opportunity to write an article for marketing purposes in their volunteer handouts, where we're going to be expressing the importance of a healthy diet. New university students and most of the time they don't have enough kitchen space or even when on campus to prepare healthy meals. So we're also partnered up with Brock University Student Union, where we provide these meals at a discounted price for students on campus. So our business is actually a subscription-based model. Clients are able to go online and order 5, 10, or 15 meals every week. We also provide our clients with nutrition plans, and we connect them to personal trainers and other nutritionists in the Niagara area. Our menu is a rotating menu. So we have 40 different options on our menu, and we choose 5 options every week. So we're usually serving 2 rice meals, 1 quinoa, 1 potato, and 1 pasta meal every single week. And the clients are able to go online and conveniently choose their meals without having to worry about payments because they're already subscribed. We operate our meal prep service from a ghost kitchen. This allows us to cook on a large scale, and it also allows us to have lower overhead costs because we're only paying for the time that we're using. We're collaborating with local chefs and local delivery drivers and prep staff to make sure we have enough hands on deck to be able to provide these meals to clients from Niagara to the GTA. So some of our other partners, or partners I already mentioned, are the 2022 Canada Games, Brock University Student Union. Advantage 10 is our trusted advisory group. We also work with Lead Sprout for all our marketing and communications, and Zoom Niagara for all of our deliveries. So let's talk about competition. Some of our typical competition will include other fast food businesses and takeout delivery services. So we're obviously healthier and more convenient because we're delivering a week of food at a time to people who need healthy meals. HelloFresh, LiveFit Meals, and WeCook are other meal prep and meal kit companies, but Tribe Meals is able to stand out because we have a wider variety of international meals. All our packaging is compostable and fully recyclable. We also provide nutrition support, so we have meal plans that we give our clients, which no other competitors are doing right now. We have meal plans that we give our clients to show them how to hit a certain number of calories every day to reach their health goals. We also have lower overhead costs than the typical dining restaurant because we're only using our kitchen space when we need to. So we currently have 40 menu items, 30% profit margins. It costs us about $25 to acquire a client through our online advertising. We currently have 48 weekly subscribers who are each spending around $200 per week. In 2021, which is our second year of business, we had our average revenue of $83,000, and this year we're on track to generate $680,000. So here's how we're going to do this. In 2021, we're providing 252 meals every week on average. So far this year, we're doing 400 meals every week, and by the end of this year, our plan is to generate 1,460 meals every single week. So we're going to do this by gaining 100 new subscribers through our online advertising and through funnels and marketing that has already been set up. And by the end of the Canada Games, we're going to be responsible for feeding lots of locals who are lots of Niagara locals, and we're going to try our best to convert some of these people from the Canada Games into subscribing weekly clients. So Tribe is asking for $75,000 because we want to focus on customer acquisition, improving our customer experience and retention. We want to focus on customer service and improving our technology, improving our logistics network for same-day delivery, and we also want to activate a full-time meal prep kitchen. So at Tribe, we believe that if we make healthy meals just as accessible as junk food, we can help all our clients live a healthier lifestyle. And yeah, thank you. Yes, sir.
You said that students are a good customer. Will they have the space in their dorm rooms or whatever to get all your deliveries?
So the way we work with students right now, for example, at Brock University, we're delivering directly to the student union campus store. So students are able to go in and pick up one meal at a time compared to our online clients who are buying 5, 10, or 15. So this way we're able to provide students cheaper meals so they can just buy one at a time. And yeah, that's how we're working with students right now.
Where are you doing the food preparation right now?
So we currently have a facility in Port Dalhousie. So this facility allows us to offer takeout, but also allows us to prepare meals in bulk at a time. So it's a different kind of takeout location. It's primarily set up for meal preps. Yeah. Yes.
Using MyFitnessPal as an example, are you guys looking to incorporate tribe meals onto MyFitnessPal? Because I know a good amount of people within the fitness space track their calories through MyFitnessPal. It's a widely used platform. Are you guys looking into incorporating your meals and all the macros into that app?
Yeah, so we currently just have all the macros listed on our website right now. But I'm sure as time goes on, we'll be able to make sure that everything is officially put into the MyFitnessPal app. And we're also looking into getting barcodes for all of our meals, so you're going to be able to scan them easily, and they should be able to pop up into the app. Yeah.
Do you have staff that prepares the meals, or do you do all of this yourself?
No, so I have a big team. So I have 2 head chefs, we have up to 8 prep staff, we have dishwashers, we have delivery drivers from Zoom deliveries as well. Yeah, and we also have a marketing team, advisory board, and then yeah, I'm just responsible for like overseeing everyone and making sure everything is moving according to plan.
Is the increase in revenue from, was it 2020 or 2021 to current, is that because you have the high order from the Canada Games?
Yeah, so we have the high order from the Canada Games, but our weekly subscriptions are also increasing kind of week to week. So we're going to be getting some revenue from the Canada Games, and our plan is to inject some of this revenue into customer acquisition. So by the end of the year, our goal is to gain 100 new subscribers. So so that's kind of how that's our plan to grow. So we're also using lots of funnels, lots of online advertising, paired with organic advertising. And we're also going to be releasing some fitness videos and just more nutrition plans to help our clients just stay on track and stay subscribed. Because the bread and butter of our business is the subscriptions.
And what's the retention of your subscriptions? Like, this people subscribe for 1 week and then come back maybe 2 months later, or is it?
Yeah, so we have clients that have been subscribed with us like since the beginning. These are like clients who like they're not interested in cooking at all. We have other clients who stay with us for a while. For example, we're partnered up with a gym that does 6-week or 8-week challenges. So these clients will sign up with the gym, and we'll provide meals for them for 6 to 8 weeks at a time. Other clients who just really love our food, so they'll just stay subscribed. We probably barely have any communication. They just want to know their meals are arriving every single week on their doorstep. So we do have clients that have been for a year. We have clients who just come in and try out our service. Or for every 10 purchases we have, at least 1 person stays subscribed.
And so you order once a week and you decide your meals for the week?
Yeah, so
at that time you pay?
Yeah, so the first time you order, you're making the payment, but every other week, all you have to do is select your meals and the payment comes through automatically. Yes.
Are you guys only providing food prep and food delivery, or are you guys also providing recipes as well through the subscription? Like, say I pay for your subscription, but I don't want food delivered. Would you guys charge for the recipes that you guys are providing?
So, like, are you saying if you wanted to skip a week? Or
No. Say if I just subscribe just for the recipes to say.
Okay.
Because the meals that you are offering, they look really good.
Thank you.
But say I enjoyed cooking, but I was just looking for new recipes.
Okay, so the way we're working around this, because we know a lot of our clients don't know how to cook or don't have the time. So our main focus is to actually cook these meals for our clients. That's the service we offer. But on our part of our social media content strategy is to create recipe videos for other things that you can eat during the day. For example, your breakfast, your smoothies, or healthier snacks you can have during the day. So part of our content strategy is to show our clients other things they can make in the day to make sure they're hitting a certain number of calories. So we're doing all the major cooking when it comes to like your chicken, your rice, your pasta kind of meals. But there's other things that we're going to be sharing that they're quick and easy to make. And so those are the things those are the recipes we're going to be sharing with our clients.
What social media platforms have you guys reached out to?
So we're currently just on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat right now.
Are you guys looking to expand to further social media? Because I know TikTok's becoming such a huge platform. Are you guys looking to expand to TikTok?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing TikTok, more Instagram Reels, and just I used to edit a lot of videos, but I've been so busy. So I'm slowly able to free up time more because I have a bigger team. So now we're going straight into marketing, and putting out lots of content.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much.
Great, thank you so much to all of our wonderful presenters. That concludes the pitch delivery. So now I'm going to ask everyone to clear out of the room so that we can give our wonderful judges time to deliberate their choices and come up with their top list. And then we will all reconvene in the common space for 4 o'clock to announce the winners. Thank you all so much.